All right, the LA Chargers have an offensive weapon that Justin Herbert loves. And so when you think offensive weapon, you think running back, you think wide receiver, but he is talking about the number 5 overall pick, Joe Alt, and how much he thinks he's a weapon. He said, we view offensive linemen as weapons. To have guys like that, especially a right tackle position, is a mountain. He's a tough guy. Even for me to see over him sometimes, that's hard to do considering that Herbert himself is 6'6". So Joe Alt, by everybody's everything that we're seeing, just fits right in, right tackle, ready to go. Being Detroit Lions fans, we have Penei Sewell. That same thing, right? There was already a left tackle in place, so he comes in. He's a great tackle. Should be like your classic left tackle, but he goes to right tackle. Immediately, he's great. And it changes your offensive line because now you got left tackle, right tackle. You've got the offensive line. You've got Justin Herbert. The wide receiver thing's being way overblown. The Chargers are good there. Jim Harbaugh has never had good wide receivers. Like, that's not, he doesn't need them. And yeah, it'd be nice, but it's like, we're fine. We're fine with what we have. We'll run the ball. We'll get guys open. The wide receiver thing's way overblown. So this offense, I think, is good because the offensive line's good. So it's just crazy. So let's take a look at it here. Alt was drafted ahead of All-American Malik Neighbors, who was picked by the New York Giants. By the way, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know right there, if you've been watching any of the New York Giants stuff on the Hard Knocks in the offseason, that front office, you just so thankful if you're a Lions fan, if you're a Chargers fan, that when you watch that, it doesn't look like they have any idea. Where the Chargers clearly had a plan. They had a plan. Hey, we're not going to overpay guys. We're not going to go crazy in free agency. We're going to get good fundamental core. We're going to get offensive linemen. We're then going to get a wide receiver in Ladd McConkey, and Malik Neighbors, I'm sorry, they're not that much different. And so you get 2 players for the price of 1. So you could have got Malik Neighbors and somebody else on the line. Now you get a tackle and a really good wide receiver. Roma Dunze was selected 9th overall. The selection of Alt over these starry wideout options, despite the team offloading Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, instantly signaled a fresh direction and vision for the franchise under Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz. Again, there's a vision, there's a plan. So Justin Herbert's all on board. He loves it. Jim Harbaugh loves it. The team sees what's going on. It's huge if you are a fan of this team because we looked at the division multiple times. This division has the Denver Broncos, which they could be the worst team in the NFL, depending on the quarterback. They don't have a quarterback, and they have to hope that one develops quickly. And you look at the Raiders. Raiders, again, question marks at quarterback. They've got talent in some other places, no doubt, and they could be in a different direction just with their coach, and there could be a different vibe there for sure, but don't know how to have a quarterback. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. So you got to beat them, get that. But man, this division is not crazy. So will you win the division? I don't know. Probably not. If I had to bet my life. But within the division, there's enough winnable games to stack up wins to make it to the playoffs. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, this is a playoff team. Another standout that I think is pretty interesting, if you've been following a team that doesn't have a good kicker, it's so frustrating. The training camp is underway, and there's a lot of guys that have been standing out. Several promising standouts, but one guy, Cameron Dicker, he's 20 for 20 so far in camp. If you've ever had a kicker situation that's just not good, it's bad. The Lions are in that boat. They just lost their kicker, tore his hamstring. There's kickers all over out there, but to get a good kicker that's in and doing well is very hard. I heard a thing from our special teams coach I think is really good. Players go up and down. It's just what happens. But kickers, when they go up and down, when they go down, they don't relate and they're not as tight with the other players. So it's hard to get built back up, and therefore they don't have the relationships and kind of that community within the players. They're different. They just are. And so when they go down and have a bad day, bad practice, bad week, bad game, it's harder to get back up and into it because the rest of the team is just not supporting you. It's hard to build that long-term camaraderie, the whole thing, the trust. But the Chargers don't have that problem. They've got a guy that's showing how good he is, consistent, keeps doing this thing. So now, over time, if he does have a bad game or a bad kick or whatever, hey, man, we got you. We see how good you are. We see what you can do. He can bounce back so much quicker. Cameron Dicker being the biggest star of the training camp should surprise no one. While the kicker position is not that it's on your mind, but instantly jump when you're thinking of camp standouts, Dicker is clearly standing out through all the noise. Chargers fans absolutely have the right to be over the moon about Dicker's success. It's not a flash in the pan. It would be one thing if Dicker was an unproven commodity and he was just having a good camp. That's not the case at all. Dicker is only cementing his status as one of the best kickers in the entire league. Again, this is a Jim Harbaugh thing. He gets good kickers. Remember when he went to Michigan, he did a sleepover at a recruit's the best kicker in the country. That was one of his first things he did as Michigan coach. Go get a great kicker. So Jim Harbaugh, to have a great kicker out of the gates is right up his alley. That's what he wants because, again, he wants to play the game smart. He wants to kick field goals. He wants to get points, get them early, chip away, come back, all those things. You have to have a good kicker. You have to, all right, kick the field goal. We're not going to go for it here. So Jim Harbaugh, this is just, it's starting to remind me of the 49ers like crazy because remember the 49ers were terrible, but they had a lot of talent just waiting to be uncovered with confidence. And you see that in the Jim Harbaugh mic'd up stuff. He's all about building confidence. That's what I'm learning. Biggest thing. He builds up Derwin James. Justin Herbert talks him up. He's got former players coming in and talking to the team. He's got people that you can trust talking to the team. He's got the official talking to the team just because I've been around the game. I appreciate the game. Build people up, get their confidence going. That's what he does. And so then you want to play hard for him. So then you play hard. He's super detailed. You don't make mistakes. You're disciplined. You're in the right place. You're in the game. Basically, that's what it boils down to. You're in every single game. It's going to be hard to imagine that the Chargers just get blown out. They're going to be in every single game with a chance to win. They need the ball to bounce the right way a couple games. And this is a 10-win team. It's crazy. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you're a Chargers fan, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and we'll see all of you on the next one.